And now, here with another designated podcast are Teddy and JJ.
Hey everybody, it's time for another Designated Riders podcast. We've been kind of podcast light for y'all for the last few weeks. We got all sorts of stuff going on, is moving and golf and important things,
mental issues.
But we want you to know we're dedicated to you, and we want to make this a quality effort. So maybe we'll try.
Yeah.
Here we go. We got a number of things to talk about. Teddy, you got the highlights, and this is what we might talk about.
We might talk about your mother's birthday, which I'd love to talk about. Also, the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame. School has started again. We've got an air conditioner crisis. LSU and Louisiana Tech play in 2 weeks. And this is the Burt Reynolds Memorial podcast because the DW flags at half-staff today for Burt Reynolds, who people don't realize, that the new generation doesn't realize, but for about 7 to 10 years there, he's the hottest thing going. He was the hottest thing going.
He could have walked onto any set and made it millions of dollars. You're more of a movie guy than me. You got a Mount Rushmore for me?
Well, I was surprised today that you had seen Boogie Nights.
I hadn't seen it until about 3 years ago.
Okay.
It wasn't at all what I expected.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot more intense than I expected.
Okay.
And I thought it was fantastic.
Okay.
There's some things that, if you look past, but man, I mean, here's the word I would use on the advertisement. J.J. Marshall says it was gripping.
Okay, gripping.
It was gripping. I think it was gripping.
You've never seen Gator, but
No.
Gator, okay.
No.
Starts all him in a car, and two women. One of the woman from Spring Hill was in it, Sherry Butcher, and just a beautiful lady. And anyway, he's in a fast car and stuff. But Gator, I like.
I saw Smokey
the Bandit. I'm gonna tell you, the reason I like so much is my dad, and I know Ben doesn't have appreciation for it. Your brother Ben, who turned 64 this week, but my dad, I went with him twice because he started crying watching it, and he was a preacher, And if I'd have said, "Daddy, let's go kick that sumbitch," he'd have kicked me. But when Jackie Gleason said it, my dad started crying.
Yeah, okay.
Done. And Sally Field was cute back then. Anyway.
Yeah, she was. People don't understand. Right. Sally Field and Linda Ronstadt had it going on there for about 3 or 4 years.
Ronstadt.
Yeah, how about that one?
Well, there's another 10 minutes of podcast we can do on that.
She's not doing well.
No, bless her heart. Dadgum. Boy, she could sing. But Smoking the Bandit, that, by the way, that was during the kind of the urban cowboy thing, so that helped Burt too. He could wear the cowboy hat, chew the gum, smile, drive off in the Trans Am.
Man could chew some gum.
He went through. Every movie was like a 25 gross of juicy fruit for him.
Yeah.
And then my favorite is WW and the Dixie Dance Kings, which you'd have never seen.
Of course I didn't.
It's got Art Carney's in it, and Don Williams, another country singer, Jerry Reed, another country singer.
Of course it had Jerry Reed in it.
It's hilarious.
Everything had Jerry Reed in it.
It's hilarious in it. Burt Reynolds he's WW, and he's basically holds up gas stations and stuff, and he starts managing this little group that's going to get to the Grand Ole Opry, which of course the final scene, they've made it to the Grand Ole Opry. And Art Carney's tracking Burt Reynolds. He's a sheriff. But anyway, you couldn't find it anywhere. And I wrote a whole column about it in the paper like 20 years ago. And my most favorite reader in history sent me a moonshine copy of it, which I have. But Burt Reynolds was a stud.
Longest Yard? You ever?
Loved The Longest Yard.
Okay.
And I appreciate that you have talked your brother into, that's a pretty good movie.
Yeah.
It's not bad. Number 22. Now, he was in Semi-Tough, written by Dan Jenkins, but the movie is totally not, nothing like the book.
Well, of course, Burt's sports connection, among other things, though, is he played at Florida State. Lee Corso was his roommate, all that stuff. But he was kind of Florida State's boy when Florida State started coming about. He was kind of the face of the program, exactly, until he actually started winning things.
He played a year to 300 yards and a couple touchdowns, and then he got in a car wreck and he lost his spleen and lost a couple years of eligibility. So I said, I'm going to Hollywood to be a star, and that's what he did. You know who his other roommate was? Local tie, Bill Graham, who is the grandfather of our friends Randy Graham and all that crew over in Ruston. Mr. Bill worked at Alumni House for a long time, and him and Corso
had a shell station at one time.
Him and Corso and Burt Reynolds were all roomies at one time.
All right, speaking of Ruston, Tech opened against South Alabama. Had to hang on to win.
Mm-hmm.
LSU opened, of course, in Arlington, I should say, and didn't have to hang on to win. They just hung it on.
That's something that surprised me.
Hung it on
Good
Miami.
for them.
Well, I just didn't think Miami's that good.
No, they're not.
But LSU was impressive. They're on, as you mentioned, on a collision course, so to speak. in 10 days or
Yeah,
whatever.
they play them in a couple weeks. On the 22nd, Louisiana Tech will go down to.
That's right. It's 3 weeks.
Yeah,
now,
Baton Rouge. Tech's got Southern. By the time you listen to this, they may have played. And I hope Tech's 2-0, which they'll be 2-0 only for the fourth time since '97. Usually they have a heavy hitter game 1 or 2, and this time it's South Alabama and Southern. Hopefully Tech can win. Then they have an open date. It's real early in the season to have one, but they'll place the Tigers down there.
We'll get LSU after LSU plays Auburn too.
And right, so that's going to be. I'm glad Tech doesn't have a game that night because I can watch the LSU Auburn game. It should be a lot of fun to watch and should answer a lot of questions. You know, in the first week of the season, I mean, your team Notre Dame, whoever's playing, you don't know. The coach don't know.
It's an absolute crapshoot. You just have no idea.
Coach been with them every day.
If they tell you that they know, they're lying.
They're lying. You don't know.
Right.
And so when Tech played the other night, like you said on the radio, there's a lot of mistakes. Wow, it looks like they hadn't played a game in 8 months. Well, it's because they hadn't played a game in 8 months. Right. You know, like the first pass the Tech quarterback threw, I said he wound up and started throwing that Wednesday. I mean, it's right through the guy's hands. There's a bullet. There's no way to catch it. It was going to zillion miles an hour. This is all that testosterone. You can't blame him.
All right, Hall of Fame came out with this announcement. Louisiana Hall of Fame. I know you're an integral part of that.
I'm on the committee.
Okay, well
I'm on the selection committee.
Interesting selections. Really, some headliners. Usually, you hope for one headliner, and in this case, you got two, and maybe even more. You mentioned Tech and Matt Dunnigan, but again, the focus will be on Les Miles and Peyton Manning.
Yep. And when I called Matt Dunnigan to tell him that he immediately said, "You got to be kidding me." He said it a lot more.
Graphically.
Texan than that. He was overjoyed. He's so thrilled and humbled. But, you know, Matty was a Kodak All-American and AP All-America and led Tech to the playoffs, and then it's one of the greatest careers ever in the CFL. And finally retired after X number of concussions. And I saw the hit that retired him. It wasn't that big of one, but he said he knew immediately as he was getting up, that's it for me. I'm done. So he's one of those guys left all on the field. Then you got one of the best ever in America to play in Peyton Manning. And when I told Dunnigan, I said, look, Peyton Manning's eligible this year too, and he's going in. He said, well, I'll try not to show him up.
Yeah.
His little popcorn, you know, little bitty arm, and I'll try not to show him up. But and then Les Miles, it's his first. It was his first year of eligibility, and Saban, you know, obviously he's going to be in the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame one day, but he's still coaching, and he wouldn't want to get inducted now and fixing to start the next season. But hopefully one day it will be a nice event when Nick Saban goes into the Hall of Fame. So those are three. We got a rodeo cowboy named T. Barry Porter, a couple of wonderful high school coaches. And just one thing about every year you have to get an old-timer or a real old-timer. T. Barry Porter's 91 years old.
Yeah.
Nobody would know him today, but in the 70s, he was the face of Wrangler blue jeans. He was the world champion calf roper. He was off the chain. So his daughter went out and told him he was in the Hall of Fame. We called her on the telephone, and she went out and found him in the field. He's driving a tractor. He's 91. He has one arm.
Okay.
And
was there an incident, I assume?
There must have been some sort of incident. And he couldn't he started crying. She just had to let him sit there for about 5 minutes on the track. And I love an old dude.
Yeah.
Who appreciates
You hope to be an old dude.
I do. And I hope he makes it till now. I'm sure he will. He's a joy of a guy and, of course, deserves it. But it'll be a fun night. It's usually the last weekend in June, but make your plans now because this is going to be...
Yeah, it's going to be a tough ticket.
You know, the Shaquille going in was the biggest one. This last year was the next biggest one. This is going to be a tough ticket. But it's probably going to be in Prather Coliseum because there's another event downtown. But that will bode well for fans because more can come to it.
That's right.
And they'll even have tickets where you don't have to buy one to eat. You can pay $10 or $15 and come and sit in the stands to watch Peyton. It's going to be the weekend of June the 8th.
All right.
What else we got? Let me think. Oh, your mother's birthday.
Well, it's everybody's birthday in the Marshall household.
Right, it's yours and her favorite child, her non-favorite child, Ben.
Yeah, this was 7 days, 4 birthdays. This was, of course, when we were all around back then. It was great. I got to bat leadoff on the rotation.
Really, it's 7 and 4?
We four birthdays in 7 days.
Okay.
The 2nd, 2 on the 6th, 1 on the 9th.
Your dad on the 9th?
My dad on the 9th.
I don't know if I knew that.
Yeah, we all ran the whole day. It was just one big birthday.
Y'all made one big cake?
One big birthday week. And, it's always right around Labor Day, so sometimes mine would be on Labor Day. I don't know if that was good or bad. But, yeah, right when school started back then, and we just got them all out of the way. Just ran right through
I
them.
don't know if I knew your mom and Ben were born on the same day.
Yeah.
And of course, I know when your birthday is.
And see, and yours is coming up. I'm now in my last year of my 50s. And so on the treadmill machine where you have to punch in your weight and how much time you're going to go.
Right.
And you got to punch in your age.
Right.
I went, uh-oh.
I got it.
The other day I went, uh-oh. I gotta change that. I can't keep punching in what I was punching in before because it's all
No, time's a great mystery.
the treadmill doesn't lie.
It don't lie, bro.
You gotta be honest with the
Treadmill
treadmill.
don't lie.
But yeah, and I was talking about the thing about birthdays now is Facebook. I mean, and I'm not a big Facebook guy, but the one thing that Facebook does for you is people, God bless them, think about you for as long as it takes to say happy birthday, JJ, thinking about you, HBD, Teddy.
That's beautiful.
They think about you for 11 seconds or 10 minutes, whatever it is, and it makes you feel. It really makes you feel good. I know these people always say, "Thanks to all the people who took the time." But you know what? That's not a bad thing.
It's not. And I like looking on there and say, "Oh, it's Governor's birthday today, or it's JJ Gothrow's birthday." So I like knowing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, time's a great mystery. It seems like it. The days are getting shorter instead of longer.
Yeah, that's because they are.
Yeah. Oh, physically, yes.
Yeah. Not
just metaphorically.
Yes,
By the way,
okay.
it sounds like there's a window AC unit going in behind us. It's because there's a window AC unit going in behind us.
And I got to tell you, the efficiency that's being done here is stunning to me because neither one of us could have gotten the window raised.
No.
Much less
My
this
man
baby.
Jonathan's getting it done.
Much less this baby installed.
It's going to be a meat locker cold tonight.
Absolutely.
I feel comfortable just looking at it.
All
I
right,
enjoyed it.
So we're zipping along. What else you got for us, Teddy?
I think that may wrap it up.
We hit
School
it?
started, so let's be careful out there on the streets. Let's be careful on the streets. It's a different feel. We got little ones running around. Don't drive your car fast or talking on your phone through the school
text,
zone.
right, usually.
Text and all in Harry High School. Just enjoy football and catch us at Designated Riders. We'll start picking up the program a little bit. Thanks for bearing with us the last couple of weeks while we've had different irons in the fire and major crises going on and football season starting. And I think
And for you, the loyal listener of the podcast or reader, we've consolidated the Designated Riders offices.
we have.
So that's another advantage that you'll find out sooner or later.
We've decided that maybe we should all get in the 7-1105. You played our strengths.
Right.
And so, we'll have more on that later. But let us hear from you. And thanks for listening, and we appreciate it.
All right, guys, we'll talk to you next time.
See